morning. So excuse the background noise. It's raining outside, so it's a little bit noisy. But I wanted to record this while it was still on my mind. Yesterday, I wore my Black Lives Matter t-shirt to work, and I wasn't sure what the reception was going to be. I actually didn't care what the reception was, but I knew that it could be viewed as controversial by someone, But at the end of the day, it was a really interesting experience. My kids from 3rd grade all the way to middle school, they were all, giving me the thumbs up. I love your t-shirt, Mr. George. In one of the classes, a student said to me, she was like, so what about all lives matter? She said it in jest. This is one of my 6th graders. And she was like, before I even responded, she said, just because I say Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that your life doesn't matter. I just need to affirm myself. And I said, wow, there's some people that are getting it. There's some people that are getting it. This is Black Lives Matter doesn't mean that your life is any less important than mine, but it actually means that I'm elevating my life to the same level as yours. My life matters, and I'm going to affirm that. And I think that's important for us to remember, that we're talking about a group of people that throughout the course of history, we've been told explicitly and implicitly that our lives don't matter. Whether it is the condition of our educational system, whether it's the condition of our communities, whether it's structural racism, whether it is the criminal justice system that tells us over and over and over that our lives don't matter. Black Lives Matter says, just the statement, not even the organization, just the statement says that my life matters. And despite what the broader community says or how they treat me, I'm going to acknowledge that I matter. And that's a big thing. And the adults might miss that, but the kids understand. The kids get it because they live the injustice every day. They know what's going on. They know that we are not treating them the best way possible, because they can see the disparities in our society in a way that adults become numb to. So that was just a really profound moment for me. In addition to that, I noticed that as the kids were walking by me, they would be mouthing the words on the shirt as they were reading it. Black Lives Matter. And then they would smile. And I wondered how many kids that read that shirt yesterday had never identified themselves with positive words like that. Black Lives Matter, which is to say, my life matters. How many kids that read that t-shirt had never thought of themselves in a positive way? I don't know the answer to the question. I don't know that I ever will. But if just one kid went home yesterday having felt better about themselves from reading that shirt, I'll wear it every day, because that's really what it's all about, making that type of impact. I had one student, she read the shirt and stopped and was like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. One of my 3rd graders. And they just left. She ran off about her day. I was like, man, that's such a cool experience. And then when I interacted with some of my older middle school students, they would just stop, read it, and then they give you the nod. They give you the nod, which is their approval. Because if they don't like it, they're gonna tell you. But you just don't know. You don't know the impact that things like that have on people. And again, messaging matters in a culture where a lot of the messages that you receive are coded, and you have to decipher, and there's a lot of mixed marketing and messaging out there around the value of black life in the media. Something that explicitly says Black Lives Matter, and kids gravitate towards it, and they get it, and they understand it. I don't know how you can want to stand against that. I think people who have an issue with just a person saying Black Lives Matter, you got to get to the core of what your issue is, because your issue isn't with your issue isn't with me. I'm affirming myself. I'm affirming the value in myself. I, as an adult, am for the first time saying, not just in my mind, but I'm making a public statement that my life does matter. My life does make a difference. What we do with our families do matter. What I do at my church does matter. What I do at work, what I do with my business, all those aspects of my life, it matters. I contribute to this society in a powerful way, despite all the messages that say that I don't. And so for somebody who doesn't have our experience, I don't expect you to gravitate towards a message that says Black Lives Matter, because it's not for you. And again, I'm not talking about the organization. I'm talking about the messages behind that statement and the spirit in which it's being brought out. You know, don't confuse the organization with the messaging behind the entire initiative. Don't confuse the two. You may not like the politics of the organization, but guess what? Those kids in that school, they don't care about the politics. All they know is that the schools in their district and the schools across the county line are very different. Black Lives Matter. All they know is the relationship between the police in their neighborhood and the neighborhood across the county line are different. Black Lives Matter. We're not even dealing with politics yet. This is just to say our lives matter. And so I wanted to just share this really quick. Just an interesting social exercise. One of my coworkers passed, and African American coworker who will remain nameless. I still love you, but she read my shirt, and she read it and then nervously smiled as she was reading it, very uncomfortable with it as she walked by, you know, visibly uncomfortable with it. We got to come to grips with our stuff, people, because these kids are moving. These kids are understanding what's going on. The people who have a problem, it's the adults. We're the ones who have problems, and we transfer those problems to our children. So let's do ourselves a favor. If the statement Black Lives Matter bothers you, do the work. Do the work that is necessary to make you comfortable with someone affirming themselves. Because you can never tell somebody that they can't affirm themselves. You can't tell me I can't affirm myself. And if you think that it's okay for you to tell me that, you're the problem. The problem doesn't reside with me, it resides with you. So, man, this video is running to 9 minutes already, so I'm gonna have to find a way to chop this down. But yeah, just share your thoughts. I mean, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the entire messaging around Black Lives Matter and the entire movement? You know, drop your comments below. I'd love to dialogue with you about it. All right, peace. Have a blessed day.